Coming up on today's episode, we're going to deep dive into what makes you so special. And guess what? I can promise you it's not what you think. What we're getting ready to say is not what you think, so stay tuned. I'm Christy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening. Welcome back to another episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. I'm your host, Christy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer, and being joined by Cari Thompson. This is a perfect subject for us because you can say it like, I don't know how you repeated back the phrase, the name of the podcast. What makes you so special? You can say it snotty. Psh, what makes you so special? You can say it like that. You can say, what makes you so special? Like Mr. Rogers. We don't mean any of those. In fact, you think you're going to be pretty shocked when you hear why we picked this title and what we're going to go over today.
I love this topic because, Christy, this happened recently. Okay, let me back up. This happens all the time. Since I've been working for you, this happens all the time. However, recently I just got an email from one of my VIP coaching clients, Christy. Now, with VIP coaching, that is a special program at the time of this recording. You can go to coderedlifestyle.com/VIP, right? Did I say it right this time? Sometimes I don't say it right, y'all. Anyway, you can check into VIP coaching, but I was talking to one of my VIP coach clients, and she said to me, well, I didn't this. And she's naming all these tenets of Code Red, these strong rules and things that Christy has put into place for a reason. And when I replied back to her, my first response was in my head, Christy, was, well, what makes you so special? And that's what we want to talk about today. What makes you so special? Because people think that somehow they are outside the rules.
And guess what? Ain't nobody getting out of the rules. Not Cari, not me, not our dad, Larry, not our mom, not Oprah, not Barack Obama. Nobody gets out. It doesn't matter who you are. And I don't understand why people think, because if anybody were to get out of the rules, I guess it would be me. I exercise 3 hours a day, not including the 7 miles a day that I walk. I eat a certain diet. I'm extremely meticulous, but I still follow all the rules. So if anybody could get out of the rules, it would probably be me. I have no kids to have to distract me. You know, if anybody could skirt the rules, it would be me. And I don't even skirt the rules.
You are 100% right. Even you, the other day, you told me about one thing that you had, which wasn't bad, but it caused a reaction that you weren't expecting. And you said, Cari, even I got to follow the rules. And it's true. We think somehow, that we're going to get points, that we're going to get a free pass. And Christy, I think sometimes I had another client who was in the hospital with her daughter. And it was terrible. It was a bad situation. She actually just came with the clothes on her back, had her water bottle, did not get a chance to prep or plan any of her food. It's a bad situation. And unfortunately, our bodies don't say, oh, your daughter's in the hospital. Well, the rules don't apply to you this week. You don't have to sleep. You don't have to drink your water. And she wasn't trying to do that. Like, she was doing a great job staying on track with her weight loss, even in the hospital with her daughter. But what makes her so special to get out of the rules? Even when logically, I feel like we have great reasons, and Christine, I've heard them all, why the rules shouldn't apply to you. I'm thinking of a specific example, but I know you have some examples of times when people have thought the rules didn't apply to them for whatever reason.
Well, I would like to start off with myself. I like to be, we pride ourselves on being transparent. And I would like to start off right off the bat, telling on myself. I recently attended a big business conference in Las Vegas. And I'm right in the middle I'm smack dab in the middle of prep. I'm 10 weeks out of my competition for my documentary. And I am knee deep into the program is extremely difficult. It does require a lot of exercise, and it requires a very strategic, strict diet with low calories. This is the point. The funny thing is my coach, prepping for bodybuilding competition is much different than Code Red. My coach is going to take me up and down in calories and carbs. He's going to manipulate every day. He makes changes. It's very strange. It's not what Code Red is so much easier, but I'm doing something a lot different. So Cari, I woke up at 4 because my hotel at the MGM Grand, the gym was not open until 9. I jogged 3 miles in the snow in Las Vegas off the strip to a 24-hour gym that was open. So I jogged 3 miles to get there in the freezing cold. I worked out. I came back. I walked 18,000 steps because the venue, I'm painting this picture for you guys, because the venue was far from my actual room. I ended up walking 18,000 steps. And then later on, at the conference at 6 p.m., I ended up working out for the 3rd time that day. 3 workouts, 18,000 steps. That's approximately 9 miles of walking. The steps are not including my running. That did not include my 157 floors I climbed on the stair climber. And I had one thing off plan, and it was a bag of Skinny Pop popcorn that they were serving at the conference. It was 120 calories, Cari, and I think the carbs were like 20 grams of carbs. And I gained an entire pound the next morning. And you think, what, Christy? Cari, I thought there's no way this is going to show up on the scale. There's no way. My water was on point. My sleep was good, especially for being in a hotel room. I got in bed on time. I felt good. Cari, one mistake. If anybody could ever get out of the rules, if anybody could ever be treated differently, if anybody could ever be viewed as, hey, look, I'm a special situation. 3 workouts that day, 9 miles of walking, all my sleep, all my water, one thing off plan, it was over for me.
I think that's a great example. And I think there are things that are even just a little bit more applicable because not all of us are doing what you're doing. Christy should have gotten a free pass. Yeah. If I were handing out free passes, you would have got one that day, Christy.
I couldn't
But here's
believe
an example. People say stuff like this. I'm an anesthesiologist or I'm a school teacher, so I can't eat by a certain time or I can't drink all my water. Somehow these people think that the rules don't apply to them. The rules, you're an anesthesiologist? Oh, you're a teacher? Oh my gosh, I didn't realize you were a teacher. You can go ahead and eat at 7, 8 at night, whatever works out for you. You just get that food in. No, that's not how it works. Oh my gosh, your baby has an earache. I didn't realize that you had a teething toddler. So you can do everything right, but if you don't sleep, it's okay. You're still going to lose weight. No, it doesn't work that way. And this person that was VIP was just not prepping their food at all. So basically standing in front of the refrigerator, wondering what you're going to have to eat. And if you have a home study program with Code Red, you will understand that one of the very first rules we talk about is making sure that you are pre-planning and pre-prepping and logging and all that. This is something we talk about in this program. So this person is well-versed. I can't say to her, they live in New York City. Oh, you live in New York City, you don't have a crock pot? Well, never mind. You don't have to prep. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, they think these life situations come up, or to them, big situations. My VIP rebels try to pull the same crap, not as much as your VIP rebels do. Cari and I have separate programs, by the way. Mine is VIP Platinum. You'll see that when you check that out. And hers is VIP Gold, a few different deliverables and different price points. So whatever's going to work out best for your price point, or if you like Cari's coaching style versus me, my rebels don't quite pull the bull crap on me. I think that Cari's pretty nice, although she's gotten a lot tougher over the years. And I think that your people, I don't know what makes them think, like, I cringe when I hear the kind of crap they say to you. I don't get it. Like, what are you guys thinking? But my rebels tried to pull that crap. One girl said that she goes, I ate so great Monday through Friday that I just kind of thought that I could have what I wanted on the weekends. And I mean, my head exploded, sis. I couldn't believe I was just like, my ear started bleeding. I was like, what? What makes you think you're so special? Like, what do you make you? If I can't get out of the rules, you certainly can't get out of the rules. I mean, what makes you think, Cari, you are going through a remodel. Your husband's getting ready to have back surgery at the time of this recording. Your daughter's getting ready to turn 13. You know, it's just there's so many things that are happening in your life constantly. We've got, you know, it's always something. It's a revolving door of something. And gosh darn it, I don't hear any excuses coming out of your mouth.
Someone emailed me today, Christy. Are you ready? And the email said, I had a disappointing loss last week. I thought I was on track with all my food. And I went, thought? I'm going to use the famous Carole, the mama Carole saying, well, thought planted a feather and thought it would grow a chicken or whatever she says. You know how she says that? You thought? If you are not logging your food, you don't know. Christy, I thought I was eating pretty good. I thought myself all the way up to 270 pounds because I thought that's what I needed. You know, Brandon's getting ready to have surgery. Christy, I'm glad you mentioned that because he has a neurosurgeon that's going to be working on some pretty intricate repair stuff with his back. And do you know what happened? Now, I've been tracking my food pretty carefully lately, have some goals I'm working on too, not big goals like Christy, but some other goals. And I actually thought to myself, ooh, if you take him to surgery, Christy, I cannot believe I still think this. If you take him to surgery, you can go eat whatever you want for lunch because nobody knows that you're there and no one will know. And you can only eat one meal. And it's really stressful when he goes to surgery and you're just sitting and waiting to hear. So you might as well go eat what you want. Why don't you go have a clown cone from Baskin Robbins? Shout out to the clown cone. Okay. So that is honestly what I thought. And do you know what the truth is? I'm not special. Just because Brandon's having neurosurgery doesn't mean I get an extra 1,000 calories that day. What makes me think I'm so special? And Christy, I've been working for you for 5 years and I'm teaching people. And yet that thought still went through my mind. Shame on me.
It goes through my mind too, sis. I did the same thing with the Skinny Pop popcorn. And I just go and I got on the scale the next morning and I threw my hands up and I actually said out loud, I said, what did you expect? Like, what did you think was going to happen? The program is in place for a reason and nobody gets out of the rules. And I don't know why the rebels in their mind, and we tell them this over and over and over, you know, when you do get a home study program, you do get an onboarding call, an onboarding meeting with Cari or myself. We swap back and forth, and you're going to be able to get a live meeting where you can ask questions. And we tell you this, and we go over it. I mean, I go over it with the tutorials. I go over it with the instructional video. We go through it with the instructional manual. We go through it live in the onboarding call. We say it over and over and over and over and over. Cari and I have said it over and over and over to ourselves. And yet still the demon and the angel on the shoulders, they just fight with each other. And we convince ourselves of things. And we think, well, if we just don't eat the next day, well, if I just run an extra mile the next day, well, maybe if I throw up my food, it won't count. Then, you know, like before I go to sleep, I'll just throw it up. Well, you know, I'm saying some real stuff to some people listening right now. There's something you think we don't know because we've been through it.
And I think, Christy, that sometimes people get caught up in this thing. I feel like we should call this podcast, That Sounds Like an Excuse. Maybe we should retitle it, That Sounds Like an Excuse, because people will write to me or people will say things to me and they'll say, I know it sounds like an excuse. If you have to say, I know it sounds like an excuse before you tell me something, it's absolutely an excuse. And I'll tell Christy straight up, when something goes wrong in my life, I'll say no excuses. Here's what happened. The other day I got off track and I sang her a song to Taylor Swift's Haters Gonna Hate, Hate, Hate. And I go, it started with the Ritz, with a Ritz cracker. Started with the Ritz, and a Ritz. And it was a Ritz. It was a stupid Ritz I don't even know what I was thinking, but I didn't say to Christy, I was hungry. I didn't have this. And then it was just one. I didn't even go there with excuse because it's all excuses. I'm not special. If I have goals that include losing weight or doing something different with the way I look, it includes me not eating a Ritz cracker. So the rules are no different for me. It doesn't matter if I'm in the ICU working a shift. It doesn't matter if I'm picking up an ER shift. It doesn't matter if I'm out in the barn all day. It doesn't matter if I'm flying. Calories count in the air. It doesn't matter if you're on vacation. The rules are still the rules. We are not special because we may be stepping into a different set of circumstances. Your basal metabolic rate, the rate at which you burn calories, didn't suddenly change. The fact that good food, real food, water, and sleep, those rules didn't change because you're going through a bad situation. So just because you changed and what you're stepping into might be different and what you're experiencing is different, doesn't change the constructs of the program. And I think that is very hard to understand sometimes.
It's also hard to understand free food. We've done podcasts called the turning down free food or the dangers of free food or something about free food. And I don't know what we think. We think that when it's free, it's okay for us to eat it. It's a hard battle for me. This business conference, I paid a lot of money for this ticket that I went to the business conference in Vegas, and I had my allotted calories, but because lunch came with my ticket, I felt like I needed to go have more so I could get my money's worth of my ticket. Or I felt like I had to go eat the snacks that they were providing to get my money's worth, or you're sitting in first class. And so you're going to go ahead and get that free champagne, or you're going to get the free food that comes with your ticket because you paid that extra money for first class. Free food is probably the hardest thing for people, but that's just not how your body works. It's not something you can reason with. It's a chemistry lab. Your body doesn't understand the difference in these situations. You can't reason your way in and out of things.
I reasoned my way up to almost 300 pounds, Christy. 1 year, two examples about gingerbread houses. 1 year when I was still heavy, the kids put together a gingerbread house and I was throwing it in the garbage after Christmas. It was all stale and nasty. And our dad got so upset. He was like, "Are you throwing away that gingerbread house?" And I was like, it was a couple of marriages ago. So it's been a while. Go ahead. All y'all that are listening, yuck it up. I'm just glad you haven't been there. Anyway, thank God that you haven't. Anyway, I threw this gingerbread house away and I was heavy at the time. And Dad was mortified that I did that. And that speaks to the fact that we feel like, oh, well, that's after Christmas food. That's clearance candy. Same thing this year. I bought a gingerbread house on clearance. It was like a couple bucks. And I thought, well, I'll let Anne-Marie put together with her friend and then I'll toss it. Like it'll just be like an art project. And my mindset has shifted so much since losing the weight. So fast forward 20 years. And it was easy. I just picked it up and threw it in the garbage when I was done. It wasn't even a big deal. I didn't try to eat it. I didn't try to dig it back out. I know some of y'all had to put the coffee grounds on top of the cake so you won't get it back out. Maybe not you. Anyway, but the mindset has shifted that just because it's an old gingerbread house that needs to be thrown away, it doesn't make the calories or the chemicals in that any different. And this is where I see people get hung up a lot. I see them get hung up around their jobs. Well, or their situation. Well, my mother died. Your body does not know that someone died. Your body doesn't know. Your brain inherently knows. But again, your calorie requirements did not change. Your macro requirements did not change because of what you're going through. And I'm telling you, I'll never forget Christy going through a really bad thing. This has been several years ago. And she was like, I just want to make up some Krusty's pancakes, and that was the only cheat thing she had in her house. Going to take her 45 minutes to make it. And I said, the answer is not in the pancakes. Her body did not know that she was going through a very stressful time. And that's why she wanted to react that way. You can't say to somebody in that situation, but what made Christy different in that situation? Nothing. After Christmas candy, it's not any different than Christmas candy.
Exactly. I also do things a little different now, just being honest with myself. I booked a plane ticket actually to come to your house to help out with the Brandon's back surgery, just to help out, just to help you as a sister. And I specifically, normally I would have given myself a 2-hour layover so that I could go to the Delta Lounge and work. And I specifically chose a flight that had a 1-hour layover, because that's plenty of time to get off the plane and go a few gates down and get on the plane, go pee, you know, whatever. I specifically chose a smaller layover so that I would not be able to go to the lounge and eat and drink what I wanted. I specifically am giving myself a small window of time, so I have to hustle to get there. And I just, because I'm no different than you. And what I've learned over the last 28 years being in this industry is that we are more similar than we are different. But people, I get DMs on Instagram constantly from people who try to convince me they think they're saying something unique and different, and they're presenting their situation to me. They're just like, they want to talk, or they want to, what they want, what they want to be heard. I get that. They want to be heard. They want to be validated. I understand. They want to just pour their heart out. I understand that. I understand. But they write out their situation, and this happened and that happened. My son got a DUI, and I caught my husband cheating with the secretary. And then I was, and that's why I put on 70 pounds. And I could cut and paste. I mean, it's all, everybody says the same thing, and they all think they're unique. Their situation is unique. It's not. It really isn't. It's the same bull crap that I've heard over and over and over for almost 30 years.
I'm glad you brought this up, because that brings one more situation to mind that I see people do a lot. And that is, well, I have this disease. I have hypothyroidism.
I was wondering if you would say that.
I have PCOS. I only have one leg. I have diabetes. The list goes on. Now, I am empathetic to the fact that you have those problems, and I understand that's where you are. But rarely have I seen anybody. Isn't there a disorder where you don't feel full? And I think it's called Prader-Willi syndrome. There's some kind of strange, have you heard of that before?
No, like the ghrelin and the leptin are messed up.
Yeah, they can't stop eating. They're just compulsive. Other than those people, and other than a really jacked up thyroid, but even that does not make you gain weight. Some psych meds make people gain weight, but guys, the instances are far and few between. It doesn't matter if you have PCOS. It doesn't matter if you have Hashimoto's. It does not matter if you have hypothyroidism. It does not matter if you've been diagnosed with lupus. It does not matter if you have gout. It does not matter if you have high cholesterol. It does not matter. The rules still apply. Now, if you're diabetic, if you have a thyroid, we may have to do things a little bit differently. For instance, coming down your medications appropriately, seeking, advice from your primary care provider. But you still can't eat anything you want just because you got PCOS. You can't eat anything you want just because you're going through cancer treatments. God forbid. The rules don't change because you DM'd Christy looking for her. I'm not going to give you an excuse. Christy is not going to give you an excuse. Christy's not going to say, I have never heard a story of this level of betrayal or abuse. You can eat whatever you want. Then eat whatever you want. But don't come to us crying when you gain weight.
Yeah. And Cari, I was walking Hazel here recently, and a lady stopped me on the sidewalk downtown Boise, which I love when people do. I absolutely love it. And she goes, oh my gosh, I did Code Red several years ago. But I put on 50 pounds. And I said, really? Why? And I'm looking at her just like I'm looking at you. And she goes, oh, I'm menopausal. I said, so? And I looked at her, I said, so? And she goes, well, I said, all I work with are menopausal women in their 50s and 60s. That's our target niche. The majority of our clients are menopausal women in their 50s and 60s. Well, I also had weight loss surgery. So did my sister Cari. And look at her. She's been able to keep 100 pounds off for 13 years. And then, and I just kept saying, and I was like, what else you got? I'm not going to fall for any of this. I'm not going to be the person that stands here and gives you an out, that gives you a get out of jail free card. You have got to Step up like all of us have to step up. We could all pass the microphone around the room and we all have stories of being massively victimized or being scammed out of $36,000 or having a husband that cheated on you with the secretary. It goes on and on and on. And I'm just not going to let you out. I'm not going to sit here and coddle you. We are not going to coddle you at Code Red and tell you it's okay and let you go ahead and eat the new Oreo stuffed Oreo cookies that just came out 2 weeks ago. We're not going to do it. We're sorry. We love you. That sucks. I'm sorry. That's great. I know he was your high school sweetheart. I wish it would have worked out 27 years. Yeah, that sucks. Now what are you going to do about it? We're not gonna pat you on the back and sing kumbaya and say, it's okay. Here, this bottle of wine is gonna make it feel better. It's not, and we're not gonna do that to you. Maybe they will at Weight Watchers, maybe they will at Jenny Craig, maybe they will at Noom or whatever the bull crap. Maybe they'll sell you a shake at Beachbody. We're not doing that.
Your situation may be unique. I want to say that. And we care about your situation. I do. Christy does. We do care. We know that situations are unique, but the rules aren't different just because your situation is unique. That's the point we're trying to get. And we have tools and tricks and tips to help people that are going through hard times. We have digital products. Our dad is a counselor. He's helped. But so your situation may be unique, but your weight loss is not unique. It is just like all the rest of us. What makes you so special? Sometimes that's hard to hear. Sometimes we don't like the way the message may be said to us, but the message isn't any less true just because we don't like it. Like the little girl on TikTok that said, I don't want to be a fat adult when I grow up. Do you see that one? Mm-hmm. She said, I don't want to be a fat adult. And the mom in the background goes, well, do you know any fat adults? And the little girl goes up, down, eyes. She goes, well, I'm looking at one. Well, you may not like that message, but it doesn't mean the little girl was wrong. And I think it's really important to keep that in mind.
I said to my coach, Eric, back in August of 2022, when we were doing our assessment, getting ready to start my transformation progress, we started the weekend, I think the first weekend of September. And he said, why do you think you're so out of shape? Or do you have why don't you train legs harder? Because at the time we started, I had so much body fat below my belly button down. Cari and we carry our fat below our belly button, from our belly button to mid thigh. That's where the most fat is in our body. And you can see it on my DEXA scan. I mean, it's and all the women on our dad's side of the family do the same thing. We're all shaped the same. That's where we carry our fat. And he said, why don't you train, why are you so heavy down there? He goes, why don't you train legs more? Or whatever he said, why you have so much body fat down there? Oh, I have back problems. And he goes, I have chronic back problems. My low back, I've had back problems, like my entire adult life. So we can, my back problems are going to keep me from being able to train hard. And that way then So he said, and I was like, he goes, we can work around that. So I say the same thing to you. Yes, you were victimized. Yes, blah, 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 blah. You've had things you lost, you lost your mom at an early age, like we love you. And we know we have people in our community who have gone through this, and we will wrap our arms around you and love you through that. But we're gonna have to work around that situation, and you still have to do the rules. If you have gone through weight loss surgery and you have a reduced stomach and it's about the size of a NyQuil cup, we will work around that situation. But you ain't getting out of the rules. You don't get to eat Cheetos because they have a melt down to nothing, like Cari talks about.
I never threw up Cheetos.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, right. See,
I'm just saying, and neither of those I had any trouble getting any kind of candy or Cheetos down. I had chronic vomiting, but not that. It was a miracle. It was a miracle. Truly, Christy, a miracle. But yeah, Christy's right. We care about you and your situation, but I'm not different. You're not different. Christy's not special. I'm not special. Nobody's special. Nobody gets out of it. It is the same chemistry that exists in our bodies, regardless of what you may be stepping through or what you may be experiencing. The chemistry and the rules and the dynamics behind the science of the program remain the absolute same. And I think that's kind of the point we want to make today.
And to take it a step further, the accountability that we all need is the same for all of us. It is. Now, there are a few outliers in this world who can live in rural Alaska, in the Brooks Range of Alaska, with nobody for 10 months a year and live off grid and live by themselves and have nobody. And they hold themselves accountable. They are hard workers. They know how to make that life work. They are the outliers. They are the 0.000000001% of people. There are a handful of people, but the most of us in this world, we need accountability to hold ourselves to, we need something to hold our feet to the fire. Even me, even the creator of the Code Red lifestyle, El Jefe, the leader of this revolution, I am retaining my coach after my show because I do not want to gain my weight back. We all need accountability. So for you guys to get to goal weight and be like, I got this, what makes you so special? Because you don't got this. You've got to have some form of accountability.
Yep. I agree with that 100%. There are very few people that don't need someone to hold them accountable. I love that. That's very true.
I've never seen it. And if I can't do it, chances are you probably can't. And I'm worried about gaining my weight back. I'm actually genuinely concerned about gaining my weight back. And so I'm putting measures in place, and so should you. And the whole point of this podcast is what makes you so special, because we are all in the same boat in some way, shape, or form. We're all in the same boat. We're all fighting for the same thing. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be able to live a long life, free of pain, free of medication, at a healthy weight, fitting into anything we want, going wherever we want without worrying. We all want healthy kids. We all want a healthy, intimate relationship with our partner. We all want this. Generally speaking, everybody in the world wants this happiness. So you ain't special. You want that too. And there might be some varying degree. I might want to climb a mountain. Maybe you don't want to climb a mountain, but I want to be happy, and I want to have loving relationships. We are more similar than we are different. So what makes you so special? You got to follow the rules like we do.
100%. I agree with that 100%. And I think that when you start to want to come out with an excuse, just think about this podcast. It will encourage you.
Yeah. We've seen hundreds of thousands of people come through this program, and it's a pattern. It's the same pattern with people. And every time someone thinks that they're so different, they just aren't. And they think their situation is different. It isn't. We've heard everything. There's nothing new under the sun. There are no new ideas. We know it works. We know what's going to get you through something. And we have someone in our community or on our staff who has gone through what you're going through, and we can help you through it. So remember that. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. What makes you so special? Now you understand the reason we use that title, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, everybody. Hey, I'm Christy Code Red, and thank you for listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you want to stay connected to other rebels like you, join us in our private network. Our Code Red app is a one-stop shop, free from ads, algorithms, and censorship, and a place where you can see, listen, and watch everything Code Red. You'll be encouraged, motivated, and fired up to stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Get recipe ideas, tips, tricks, and help from coaches, mentors, and other rebels. You can also purchase products, programs, and coaching all right there in one place. And if you have any trouble navigating the app, we're right there to help you. Go to coderedlifestyle.com/APP to join for free. And I'll see you on the next episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle.